Hello, everyone. Kim here, Abundant Life Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me. If you're catching the replay, I appreciate you. And we're just doing a little catch up, a little pondering over how our February went. Like February is my birthday month, so it was quite special. I enjoyed it immensely. Okay, I got to do some different things, hang out with some cool peeps. Even one of my dearest subscribers and supporters sent me a little love mail. I'm going to show you. I got a birthday card. You know who you are, my friend Lise. You know who you are. I got to do a special shout out. She sent me a birthday card. And then she sent me like these little postcards. And this is my favorite. Do you know why? I'm from the Bay Area. It's the Golden Gate Bridge. And she sent like these cool cards that I can use if I want to as postcards. But I was showing this picture to my husband. He was like, we almost need to frame that as like a little memento from California. And so it's just really sweet. It's so touching that someone would take time out of their day, spend some money on the cards, on postage, and send something to me for my birthday. Thank you. It really meant a lot to me because I always tell you all, I rarely get mail, period, because I live abroad. So it is what it is. I get my poor parents now, they get a lot of mail from me because that's my last known address now that I've been here for, can you believe it, 5 years in the Caribbean? And they get a lot of mail in my name. But here on the island, I rarely get mail. So to get this was so sweet and special. I'm so touched. Thank you for thinking of me. Hey, Chris, how are you doing? I keep saying one of these days you and I got to do a joint collab. One of these days. Thank you for being here. Thank you. I've been trying to be a little more active on YouTube, getting my bearings back. Tomorrow I'm going to be on Scott's channel, Scott with Scorpio Sun Tarot. We love to get together. We're friends. We love to get together, throw cards for the people. So my subscribers, if you're watching this and you want a reading, a little taste of what we do collaboratively, reading for the peeps, join, because I'll be putting it in the community tab post, the link to his channel. So you don't have to think much about it, but join us. And I'd love to do a reading for you all. Now, his subscribers and members, they be in there tough, as they should. But I would love for my peeps to be there so I could do a reading for you. And join us. I'm looking forward to doing that. Yay. And I'm thinking, it's been a long time since I did a giveaway. So I'm thinking about doing a giveaway. And I want to pose to you all, do you want like a deck giveaway or would you like a reading giveaway? Like a reading for me. But I want to do something special for my subscribers because you all are amazing and you are so supportive. And thank you for leaving the most amazing comments and thoughtful comments that we can get into. It gets juicy in the comments section. So I thank you so much. Hey, Adam, thank you for being here. Thank you, Abundant Lifers, you too. Chris, Adam. Oh, that would be amazing. We should do something. I'm feeling inspired. I'm Aries rising. So, we're in Pisces season, but I'm feeling that fire. Like I want to get creative with it and just do all the things. I've never seen Charmed, but I adore Supernatural, the show and the tarot deck. Ooh, I have to check out Supernatural. I don't know. Now, Charmed, the television show, when it first aired, I was all up in it. Watch every single episode. And then like the last season or two, I don't know. I think I was doing too much and missed the last like season or two. But when it first aired, I was in Charmed. So it's Charmed, like a Supernatural piggybacking off of Charmed. I don't know. I'm not sure. So we are here together. So a couple of announcements. Like I said, tomorrow I'll be on Scott's channel, Scorpio Sun Tarot. And then what I've been doing on Instagram is I've been trying to reconnect with my little community over there. Instagram is a whole nother breed of folk. Same folk from here, but just different. So I was like, what can I do over there that's just exclusively for me and my page? And so I've been doing something called Sanctuary Sunday, where I will like gather us together. I pull some cards from a favorite deck I'm using, or two or three, and pull some cards for a general message. And then I do a pick a card self-care homework message for your week ahead. And I've been having a lot of fun. So if you're on Instagram, you follow me, join me. And if you can't make it live, I make it where you could still be able to pick a card without like cheating. You still get the message, you still be able to see what comes through for you. And it's beautiful because people have been individually messaging me. They take the collective message and then their special card or two that they pick of the week, and then they have their own little special reading for themselves, and they share with me what came up for them or what really resonated. And so I've been having a lot of fun interacting on Instagram with that. So yeah, if you're on Instagram, check me out over there on Sundays. I sometimes come looking straight up out of the bed because Sundays I usually try to sleep in, and then I'm drinking my cup of coffee, sometimes late morning, sometimes early noon. But you get me, you get me. Hello. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you being here today, Loves Tarot. Oh, I love your name. Because we loves the tarot, right? Explains that. Okay. Thank you. It says Aquarius Sun, Aries rising, and I'm a Sagittarius moon. A lot of air and fire going on with me. Explains how good you are at stripping things down to their basics, making things simple, clear, and digestible to understand for the people. Thank you. Thank you. That's what I aim for. Even in my prior career life, that was my aim when I was communicating with the people about whatever I had to do in my work life. I tried to break it down to a way that they could understand and relate. I appreciate you saying that. I could read your, ooh. Oh, well, I would have to give you something for your time and trouble. I would love for you to do my birth chart. That'd be exciting. Astrology is not my bag. Tarot is, but I know how they closely work together. So I know bare bones basics with astrology. But I'd be honored if you would do my chart. Yeah, we love the tarot, right? Over here, we love tarot. So yeah, so that's the announcement. Like I mentioned before, Scott, Scorpio Sun Tarot, will be throwing cards, catching up with each other. We haven't did a live together in a minute. And so I'm excited. I'm getting my bearings back on being on YouTube more actively. I'm trying to be. I love being on YouTube, but sometimes you have to take a break. IG, what else? What is my other announcements I want to share with you all before I share my decks and what I've been loving on in February, entering into early March. Members, whether you're channel members or you're my Ko-fi members, we are doing a little hangout for the members tomorrow. So I will be posting the Zoom link in the members community tab on YouTube as well as on Ko-fi. Like I usually post it like the day of, so it's fresh, top of your mind, and then you join. And then I'm gonna pop in. I usually like to keep members hangouts to just the members so y'all could catch up, but I can't help myself. I have to jump in sometimes because I don't want to be left out. So I'm gonna jump in for a little bit and then I'll hop back off and give y'all space. But we're having a members hangout, so keep a lookout for the Zoom link. And reading lab for people who are active on my Ko-fi. If y'all don't know what Ko-fi is, it's like Patreon, but I use Ko-fi. I like Ko-fi better. And I have what's called a Poised Elite membership on there. And each month, the last Saturday of the month, we do what's called Reading Lab. And this month, for March, we're focusing on color associations in the tarot and how color, even if you're using like a contemporary deck or you're using the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith, or you're using Thoth or Marseille, color can really inform your reading. So we'll be working with that again. I love that topic. And one more announcement on Ko-fi. One of my clients who booked with me on Etsy, she ended up booking like 4 readings with me, which was lovely. But then she asked me, do you have a subscription service? And Etsy isn't designed for recurring payments. So I said, where can I do a recurring payment situation? Ko-fi. So I did set that up for those who want to get like monthly readings from me, whether it's in your career, your love life, life purpose, spiritual readings. My clients come to me for all sorts of things repeatedly, and I don't mind. I'm here for it. So yeah. Let's see what's going on. And then we're going to just dive right into the decks, right? That's why we're here. Let's see. Adam says, I've had a flash flood of decks in this week. Not a flash flood. Ooh, Tarot of Colors. Okay. So another thing, quick announcement aside, on Facebook, I have Abundant Life Tarot on Facebook, my business page. And each week we post what we were working with during the week. And Adam always shows up for us and shares the decks and the things that he's been working with. And then I inevitably go and Google what decks he's working with. And then my wish list grows exponentially. Thanks, Adam. And now I see something that's piqued my interest already. Tarot colors. The Yukika Tarot, Secret Garden Tarot, the Myth Weaver Tarot, and Pantheon Tarot, all stellar decks. So I'm going to leave that up for a moment. Y'all can Google as you need. But yeah, I have been not buying as many. I've been buying more Oracle lately, but I'm like, okay, let me gather myself and let me use the decks that I've got and let me connect with those. And that's been a lovely process as well. And I add to my wish list. And so that time when I come to wanting to add new decks, I have my wish list to consult. So that's a tip, an easy tip for me to you. You don't have to buy the decks right away. You can put them on your wish list. And yeah, some decks may go out of print. That happened to me. It's not the end of the world because you can get it third party, or they may go into reprint at some point in the future, or maybe you weren't meant to have that deck at that point. But a wish list is like a cooling off period. And I actively use my wish list. It's a spreadsheet, and I consult it all the time. I have black and white decks as well. I wonder how color would not be incorporated into tarot if there were none. Yes, I have only one tarot deck that's black and white. I'm pretty sure just one. And one sepia colored one that I use all the time. Y'all know it's the New Era Elements Tarot. And I love it to pieces. And I could do like a whole little course on that because that's my boo when I'm using it for certain types of readings. But I haven't used my black and white one as much. So it would be interesting exploring when you have color omitted. What are you looking at? The symbolism, the line drawings, this, your book meanings. So those would be maybe things that you would derive your interpretations from. Oh, good question, Chris. Okay, so do you read Lenormand? I did. There was a phase like in 2019 where I was like, okay, this is my jam. I even bought like a couple of books on how to read Lenormand, and I bought like several decks. So I bought like 10 decks. And then when I got ready to move to the Caribbean, I shaved off about 4, and now I have like 6 decks, I'm pretty sure. 6 decks. And I want to get back into it. I love Lenormand because it reminds me of when I'm working with the Mildred Payne Secret Pocket Oracle, which that deck originally started off with 36 cards. And then it expanded to like 84 cards, but that's neither here nor there. But I love a system. I am one of those people that do appreciate a good cartomancy system, and then working in with that cartomancy system. And I did love how Lenormand, the readings that it produced. I have friends who do that for their client readings. They don't do tarot necessarily or oracle. So I'm familiar with it, but am I as well versed with it? No. Like with tarot or oracle? No. But I am open to learning and open to sharing. And it is something I would love to have someone who's more well versed in Lenormand to come on my channel, or to work with me and work with each other on growing that knowledge base. So yeah, I'll say that. I have some incredible decks, and I kept the best ones, and they're here with me. I just need to work with them. Let me see what you said. You ordered the Lenormand of Enchantment and you're excited to get it. Ooh, now I gotta look at it. I think I've seen it. I didn't know. I know, isn't there a tarot deck? I don't know. Maybe I'm crossing decks. But now I gotta look at this. Are you gonna be doing something special on your channel about it? Inquiring minds want to know. You bought the Infinite Doors Tarot. It's so beautiful. I love it, girl. I'm assuming you like me. You could be like, I'm a guy. I love that deck. I love it. I love using it all the time. I love even the smell of it. More on that in a moment. I'm glad you are loving and playing with it. Okay, Adam says, I don't read Lenormand, but I've had Lenormand readings from friends, and I find it to be more intimate, more personal. And what I love about it, as opposed to tarot, is it can be almost very literal. And like what you see is what you get in your readings. And so I like sometimes literal readings. And it teaches you on how to be a better tarot and oracle reader, because we can, there's more gray areas, more like opportunities for interpretation with tarot, whereas with Lenormand, it's like what you see is what you get. And that understanding of how to work with the cards is super helpful for other types of cartomancy readings, in my opinion. So now, without further ado, let's get into the decks I was loving on in February. Now, you all know I'm a spreadsheet queen, and I tracked all the decks that I was using consistently in the months prior. So that's just what I do. It's just, who would have thought that I would one day love spreadsheets like I do? But here I am, loving spreadsheets. Are they obsolete now that we have an AI? I haven't worked in a professional setting in a while, like 5 years. You know what I mean by professional, where you have to rely on Excel and spreadsheets. Has AI taken over the whole situation? Because I still use spreadsheets. I use Google Sheets. I don't use Excel because I don't want to pay Microsoft, but I still use them. So nevertheless, I analyzed the data and I found the decks that I was using a lot this month. So let's go with Oracle first. Get that out of the way. So we've got here Life Happens Oracle. Life Happens Oracle. Got it on Amazon. You know how you buy a deck and you're like, I don't know what to expect, if I expect anything at all. Will I use it? I hope. I hope my taste has evolved to a point where I can really work with and appreciate a deck like I need to. And it did. Oh my gosh. I use it all the time and I wasn't expecting it. I don't know if I did. I don't think I did a flip through of this deck. I don't think so. Maybe I did. If I did, then I'll put a link in the description box like I do with the decks I talk about in my videos. If I didn't, maybe I'll think about doing a flip through at some point in the future. It says, need a deck that will allow you to address almost any life situation. Inspired by real life situations, the Life Happen Oracles deck will allow your intuition to dive deeper and more effectively into every reading. No guidebook is included in this deck. It's entirely based on your intuition interpretation. I can do that. Here's the card backs. Okay, hold on. Before I get into this, let me see. Oh, I know, right? The Infinite Door was just like, for me, it's so Aquarian energy, and I'm just so here for it. I don't know. Like, I just didn't expect to love it so much. You have those decks in your collection, right? Y'all share with me in the chat or in the comment section. What was those decks that you're like, I just felt instantly in love, just instantly in love with everything about it, and I can't put it down. And I've had some decks like that. Y'all remember how I was about the Light Seers Tarot? And I had to force myself to work on all my other decks. And so everybody has a deck. Okay, Excel is used where I work. Yeah, where I worked too before I moved here, it was very much, they got that money. They can pay for the premium Microsoft suite. So we were using Excel. So I'm glad to hear that Excel is still being used and AI has not completely taken over. All right, so I got this deck and I use it for client readings particularly. It says vacay. But I use it for readings for myself. I use it as a deck that accompanies my readings when I'm doing reading lab instruction. I teach a lesson in reading lab, and then we do a lot of collaborative readings together via Zoom. And so this is one that I like to use to do a clarifying moment with my readings. I just really love the aesthetic. It's really pretty. It goes with a lot of my decks. I mean, look at the card back. Drama Queen. It's a good, well-rounded deck because you can use it in all types of readings. Envy. New outlook. This almost looks like the San Francisco cityscape where I hail from, the Bay Area. Crisis. So cute little deck. I don't know. We'll see if I do a full flip through at some point. Y'all get the gist, right? Laughter. I'll do a couple more. Hobby. Masculine energy. Awakening. And signs. I'll stop there. Cute little deck. One of my Poise Elite members on Ko-fi has this deck, and we just gush over how much we love it and how unexpected the love was. So there's that. Let me see. So there's that. Okay, so Adam says a decks I fell in love with instantly has to be the recent Lilith Tarot. Thank you for putting me up on that. I had heard about the Lilith Tarot. I did, but I didn't really check it out until you mentioned it recently. And I'm like, oh, there on the wish list it goes. It's at the high mark of the wish list. I rank, y'all know, if you know my wish list, I even have a video on it, that I even have a category of highly likely to purchase, moderate, likely or unlikely. And that the Lilith went up to highly likely. And Lust of Lilith Tarot, totally aligned with everything I love in a deck. Total perfection, these two. Yeah, I have to say. I think I'm leaning towards the Lilith Tarot, although I appreciate the Lust of Lilith Tarot as well. It is. It's so practical and pretty. It really is. It works for client readings. Doesn't matter if I'm on the hotlines. Doesn't matter if it's a private client through my website or Etsy or in person, or readings for me, myself. So I'm going to share that. And I keep it as one of my working decks. I've talked about that before, that I have a little corner over here that I use like a cell phone wooden case holder, like when kids are supposed to come in and drop off their cell phones for teachers. I guess that's a thing now. I don't know. But I use that, converted one of those into a holder for my decks, my working decks. And I keep it right there, right there. And this is one of those ones that sits in it. So yay. So now the next one I want to talk to you about is Abiola Abrams, African Goddess Rising Oracle. Really enjoyed this. It's like I don't use it for a while, and then when I use it, I'm like, oh, why haven't I used it for a while? Beautiful deck. It will, when I share with you the tarot in a moment, it pairs well with one of the ones I'm going to talk to you all about. Here's the card backs. Hay House, totally budget friendly for those who want to know. But I love it. And it activates something inside of me, some sense of empowerment or activism in the times that we find ourselves in today. There's so much going on in the world. Oh my God. We won't bring down the vibes now, but there's so much going on. And so this deck was surprising to me on how it spoke to how I've been feeling and what I need to lift my spirits up. So let's just kind of look through some of them, shall we? Can you see that? Can you see the keywords? Like it says, atete, worthiness. Guidebook is really good, very basic, but what we'll do is in a moment I'll shuffle and then we'll see what random card comes up and look at the guidebook. I have a full flip through of this deck, so I'll link it in the description box so you don't have to we don't have to go through all the cards, but it was so what I needed during Black History Month, because some of us who are Black celebrate that still in America, even though our president said, no, we're doing away with focusing on that nonsense. It's like, what? Okay, well, I'm going to continue. Okay, now let's do this. Let's shuffle. See what a message for us with the deck. Oh, we got 2 cards. That's fine. Mama Jumbo, shine is the key word. Can you see that? And Queen Nefertiti, alchemy. Let's see what the guidebook has to say. Card 32. Let's see. Temple is the griots, and element is bush. Goddess Mama Jumbo glitters as guardian of the lush green forest of Guinea-Bissau. If her name sounds familiar, it is because Mama Jumbo name was misconstrued by colonizers and replaced with the term mumbo jumbo. Okay, interesting. Meaning gibberish. Still, she shines. Interesting. They took it. It was like, oh, mumbo jumbo. Okay. Her guidance is, you were born to shine, be seen, be heard, be a movement. We need to know your name. We want to learn your dance. Embodiment is the next section. It says, daring to rise and shine starts with the courage to be seen and heard. Your story matters, and someone needs to hear it. Fear of shining brightly keeps you in the shadows. hiding and shrinking. There is no way to claim your voice and avoid rejection, criticism, and judgment, but you are not for everybody, and that is okay, right? If everyone liked you, you're not really being you. That's what it says in the guidebook. Goddess declaration. I am ready to be seen and heard. Okay. Nefertiti is 38. And we'll just do a quick little look-see. Hailing from Egypt. Temple is queens. Element is fire. Nefertiti was a legendary Egyptian queen whose name means a beauty has come. Celebrated as a goddess and her husband's equal, Queen Nefertiti led a spiritual revolution worshiping Aten, the sun god. Queen Nefertiti's guidance is, it is time. You turn everything that life throws your way into gold. You are on the path to fulfilling your purpose. The embodiment message is, you are an alchemist. You have the power to bend universal energy. Dare to transmute lead into gold by shifting from fear to love. Everything you desire exists in some form of loving energy. Match this frequency. See it in your mind's eye first. Imagine it. Quote, I am loved fully, unquote. What does it look, taste, and smell like to be loved unconditionally? Quote, I am happy and healthy, unquote. See it. I am a money magnet. What does it feel like? Goddess declaration, everything I touch turns to gold. Ashe. And so it is. Ooh, I love it. I got goosebumps. So that deck was something I was like, let me pull off the shelf and use. I actually had to pack away a lot of my decks because they were starting to get damaged from the humidity. And so I kept a few decks out, and this was one of the ones I kept out. I now had to like seal the decks with like, you know, those Ziploc bags and stuff like that. Not ideal, but I had to do it because some of my decks are out of print. They are very expensive, and I had to protect them. And yeah, I had to come to that realization. Let's see what you all are saying. The deck is really pretty. Yep, you mentioned that. The Infinite Doors Tarot reminds me of walking along a specific lake in Italy. Ooh. Ooh. The light just has that color, and it's also a little cosmic horror. I love that. I love a little cosmic horror. I'm here for that energy. I know exactly what you mean. What is not to love? Can't think of another deck. Okay. That's your deck right now, and that's okay. Adam says, I'm so glad that tuck boxes are largely going out of fashion, apart from the ones who want to go old school retro. I can't stand tuck boxes. That was how you and I really, really started talking. I was like, oh, I cannot convince you about tuck boxes. Now, can I? And you're like, nope, I ain't going for it. You don't like when there's no box and when there's a tug box. And I can respect it. And you're right. I'm seeing a shift back to the ways of a good, sturdy, hard box. This deck reminds me of Global Fusion Intuitive Tarot, a really underrated deck. Oh, I need to check that one out, Adam. Global Fusion Intuitive Tarot. I got to remember that. Let me screen grab that from you. Because I'm here for a good pairing with my Oracle and Tarot. So I'm going to check that out. Oh, let's see. Do you mean a tarot card, Adam, about this? Oh, you said an oracle and or a tarot. We could use this one. We'll see. If you don't mind rabbit hole diving. You and I have been talking offline about it. And I'm like, y'all, I have to get my mind ready. I have to get my mind ready for such topics. We'll see if this one will do it. If not, I may have another. We may work with the tarot and see what that has. And you all can pull a card too. It's Oshun, Fearless Love. We'll set this aside. I'm going to star this message, Adam. We'll come back to it because I'm going to pull a tarot. Why not, right? Let's just see what the cards have to say to us. But fearless love. Fearless love of whom? The victims, the people who want the truth, being fearless in the face of, in the face of doing everything to block what is in those files, doing everything to scare us, all the scare tactics. They're throwing at us everything in the kitchen sink. But we have to hold on to fearless love. And we'll look up in a moment what that means based on Abiola Abrams' guidebook. How about that? We'll come back to it in a moment. I've starred your message. She said, oh no, that's harsh for Dex. Here's the thing. As you all know, I have done true crime readings or mysterious circumstance readings since, when did I get COVID? It was 2021. October 2021, I had a feverish dream. And in that feverish dream for 5 days, I was guided to do certain types of readings with my cards. And many people before that, and even myself, was like, you don't do certain types of readings. Like, that is a no. But then after that feverish moment in my life for 5 days, I was like, I told myself, if I go the 6th day, I'm going to the hospital. It's getting serious. But it broke once I got my epiphany. And so now I try not to shy away from the difficult topics. I just trust that Spirit is going to move through me in a way that can share the message in a digestible way. And if not, sometimes Spirit is like, this is too much for all of you. And we don't get a lot of answers through me. Maybe somebody else, maybe another channel or another reader, and that's fine. But the relationship I have now with Spirit, the divine, and my cards is, if we're prepared to receive it, me and my audience, we're prepared to receive it, then let it be shown. I'll be the conduit. And so now I'm broaching the challenging topics carefully, because sometimes we can only take so much. For example, some true crime cases end up coming out where victims have been brutally victimized. And I don't even want to touch on that today. Brutally, though, where I'm like, this is like horror film. And we weren't ready to get those messages. And I could look back at the readings and see how Spirit tried to protect us from it. And I'll just leave it at that. If you can think about like the most brutal ways you could do a human being, we have had those cases through my Mystery Mystic Monday series. And then I'll look at the readings in the cards and I'm like, oh, I see how the universe and Spirit was trying to protect those who watch these readings as I do them, and me, the reader. So yeah. Let's move on to the next deck. This is the Dreaming Oracle by Kara, Roxanne, and Melissa Chiante. A lot of people have been tapping into their dreams, whether you read the cards or you get readings, whether you don't do readings at all. Everybody's been having these prophetic readings or readings that just gives guidance on how to heal emotionally, mentally, physically. People have been telling me this in the last month or two. Like, I had this dream. What do you think? What do you think it means? What do you pick up on it? People have been doing that more and more frequently, whether it's my clients or me, myself. I don't always remember my dreams. I have to literally, once I wake up from a vivid dream, I have to write it down or record it. I will forget it because once the day gets going, it gets going and I forget. I might remember the essence of the dream or get little snapshots of the dream throughout the day or the week following, but I don't remember. But this deck has been amazing to work with. It's got a little tug box sorry, Adam, but it comes in a hard, sturdy box. And then I know you're not really into Oracle at all, but there's a tug box for the actual deck. And then there's this amazing guidebook. It's amazing for those who are getting into dream working. Like you want a good introduction into dream working and incorporating your dreams with Oracle. This is a great place to start. And I do have a flip through, and I will link it in the description box. I'll just show you some of the cards. Let me see if I can share. Like here is the guidebook, and I'll read some excerpts, just about excerpts, but it goes into introduction to dream work, how to use the deck, and then all of the meanings. It's a comprehensive deck. It talks about the shadow, how to work with dreams, dream characteristics, feelings, colors, landscapes, structures, people, strange words or descriptions, time of day. Time of day is key for me. I pay attention to that in my dreams. Movement, messages, a date, dream work basics, and like prompts and things you can work with that. Analyzing a dream series. You know how like you keep having a repeated series of dreams. Give some different tips on how to remember your dreams and the different types of dreams, like personal dreams, collective dreams, archetypal dreams, nightmares, fragments, oracular dreams, recurring dreams, lucid dreams, past life dreams, visitation dreams. So then there's spreads too. Like this is a really good guidebook, not just for the Oracle deck itself, but for dream working, the basics of dream working. We did that in Poised Leap in my membership, where I think it was last June. I'm going to revisit it this year, where we were working with our dreams and gave an assignment of like, let's work with our dreams this week, and we're going to incorporate it with cartomancy. And we had a good time doing that. Here's the card backs. I love original artwork. It's a chunky deck. Graces. Metamorphosis. Melancholy. Imagination. Sunset. Beware. Glimmer. I won't do like all the cards because like I said, there's a full flip through. So check it out if you're interested in this deck. Beautiful artwork, beautiful colors, wonderful guidebook. I'm happy it's in my collection. I think it's the only deck I have dedicated to dream work. I mean, I have some tarot decks that have the words like dream or, you know, that are kind of dreamy, whimsical type of decks, tarot decks. But this is the only deck I have specifically dedicated to dream working. Love it. So that is the Oracle. That is the Oracle. Oh, I thought you were talking about like girl, like Kim. Do not go into those EPS. No, the EPS files. We'll call them the EPS. Do not go into them. You're talking about humidity. Yeah, humidity is harsh. I had no idea that humidity was as harsh as it is because I was born and raised and lived in a very dry climate in California. So I didn't know. There's certain challenges with being in an ultra dry climate for sure, but totally different story with humidity. And I had to learn the hard way. And it sucks because some of my decks, you know, like the boxes, not the cards, but the boxes have like these little spots and it, you know, it sucks. I don't like it. Now I know. Now I have to protect them. Thank you. I think you're very respectful with your readings on Mystic Mondays. I aim to be. I try. I used to have dreams about zombie apocalypses where I was the leader to save survivors, sometimes even speaking in Italian to them. No idea why Italian. I live in Spain. I've had past lives in Italy. Oh, that would be something to explore, right? It'd be something to explore with cards, you know? Because of these dreams, I used to be freaked out about anything zombie, so I forced myself to watch The Walking Dead, loved it, and cured myself. I know. I am one of those zombie fans. There's some people who love different types of horror, and zombie apocalypses is my jam. That's my jam. There's people who love vampire stories, I guess werewolves. Trying to think of what else. Final Destination type of horror. But I've always loved the zombie apocalypse. Like, how could I show up? How could I survive? How can we all come together and survive together this huge calamity that's affecting all of us? I love a good zombie apocalypse story, and I watch most of the seasons of The Walking Dead. All right, switching gears. Now we're going to talk about tarot. Let's get into the tarot of it all, and then we'll circle back to that last question we had, Adam, since I have that Oshun card sitting here. So let's talk about tarot. You have the Curious Travelers. I said Travelers. The Curious Travels Tarot deck. No guidebook. This is the indie edition. I was lucky. I don't know if the indie edition is still available, but it was that window of time where the mass market was being, produced by U.S. game systems. And then the creator still had on deck some indie editions. So I swooped in and got the indie edition because I like the colors in the indie versus the mass market. Although I may end up getting the mass market at another time because it comes with a guidebook. Here's the card backs. I love this deck. It's another one I can't put down. I absolutely love the way it feels. It's like that rose petal finish. It's got a healthy mix of animals and otherworldly people. The color palette is just beautiful. This is one of the cards, the Three of Swords, that made me get the indie versus the mass market because I like the shades of blue in it. When you're a deck collector, we have our own little quirks of what draws us to a particular deck for indie versus mass market. And this was the card for me. And I'm a sucker for anatomically correct hearts. Like, so when the Three of Swords has the anatomical heart depicted, I usually want the deck. It's another quirk of mine. Death. Love this death card. Oh, let me tell him. It's my son. Let me tell him I think he went on a job interview, so he's probably wanting to share how it went. King of Coins, King of Pence, the High Priestess. I also have a full flip through of this gorgeous deck. It shuffles like a dream. Love it. Let me see what you were saying. Do you have? I don't. You would be surprised. I don't think I have any zombie decks. It's so. I think what ended up happening is I got overwhelmed by the choices, and then I just didn't pick. Well, I lied. I do have one zombie deck. The Zombie Tarot. I'm looking up at it. Who's also by the same creator of the Pulp Tarot and I think the Sci-Fi Tarot. So I do have one, but I wanted to get one that's like Tarot Z, or I don't have the vampires one. I have to warm up to the idea of vampires. Let's see. When COVID started, I watched Resident Evil 1 to get into the mood. Oh, yes. I'm a huge fan of Resident Evil. I used to play the video game. It's hard. It's a hard video game, but I loved it. And my sister and I, we would play and we'd be all spooked. And we're like, oh my God, we love to just be scared and spooked. Love Resident Evil, the movie and the video game. I have the mass market Curious Travels Tarot, and I don't use it much, but the few times I have, I find it reads crystal clear and it gives a breath of fresh air and clear messages. Absolutely. It's another very airy deck. It is. I think that's why I was vibing with it so much in February. Hi, Donna. Welcome. I'm happy you're here. How are you doing? Thank you for being here. We're just catching up. What decks were you loving on in February? Do share, Oracle or Tarot. Oh, and a book that I'm reading right now, and I'll be sharing like some of my favorite quotes from it. You'll see it on the tarot, the community tab on YouTube, is Tom Benjamin's The Modern Fortune Teller's Handbook. I have been really enjoying it so much. Donna from Artists and Oracles recommended to me. She shares some of her favorite excerpts. She's also a Poise Elite member, so we get to meet up one-on-one a lot. We get to like meet up and all the time. And we have our Artistry of Cartomancy series that we do on our channel. This month, I believe, is going to be on my channel. So we've got something super exciting, and I think you all are going to appreciate the next topic we do for Artistry of Cartomancy, AOC. But she recommended Tom Benjamin's book, and I was so glad that she did. I was like, yes, 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 yes. Thank you. And I've been, even, how like some books, you read the foreword or the acknowledgments or any of the bits before you get into the first chapter. And you're like, I didn't need to read this. No, I even enjoy reading those parts of the book. It's that good. There's just so much. My Kindle edition has been super highlighted. So far, so good. I'll keep sharing what comes up for me that stands out. So yeah. Queen Donna's in the house. Okay, I'm glad you're doing okay. Okay. Have you seen Animal Kingdom series about a mafia-style crime family? Okay. It's on my watch list on Netflix. I see they added a new season to the series. And so I haven't watched it at all, but I've been wanting to watch it. So yes, I am totally going to watch it. It's going to be the next thing I'm watching. They just came out on Netflix with a series called Vladimir. So if you all have seen Vladimir or are starting to watch it, let me know what you think of it. It's about like this professor lady who starts to obsess. I don't know if the guy she's obsessing and kind of stalking he's Vladimir, but I think he might be a student. He might be a fellow professor. I don't know. But nevertheless, that's the next series I was planning on watching. And I was watching like this one series called Blue Therapy. These British couples who are going in for therapy, and it's really good. So if you do love readings, sometimes it's helpful to watch these kind of series because it gives you kind of the vibe of what kind of guidance offer. We're not therapists, of course, but it gives you kind of a basic understanding of where people are coming from in relationship dynamics. So Blue Therapy also dropped this week on Netflix. Yes. Okay, next deck. We talked about it already. This bad boy right here. Pamela Love, and the artwork is by Chris Maniecki, I think. And it's a Sterling Ethos deck. And I love it. And it's another airy type of deck, just like the Curious Travels Tarot. So, of course, I was vibing with it. You all, oh my God. There's some things about it that I was like, I don't know if I'm going to love, like the size of it. It's more squarish versus like, let me look. I like this size. But look at the card backs, and it just feels so good. And it even smells so good. I bought it secondhand from a friend on YouTube. And there was something about it, like when you buy a secondhand deck, you just call it, like you want kind of like a storied past with your tarot. And it just makes perfect sense that I got it secondhand. Even that part of its little story with me is all right by me. So here is the cards. Look at that. I think in my flip through video, I said it was like stepping into a Salvador Dali painting, you know? Here's Justice. I can't get enough of it. And it works really well in all types of readings I've been doing. I've been doing all sorts of readings with it. I've used it quite a few times in my Sanctuary Sunday messages on Instagram on Sundays. So there I use it. I've used it quite a few times in client readings. I've obviously used it in readings for myself. I just love the High Priestess so much. I knew I would really like it, but I didn't expect to love it. Because again, I have this love-hate relationship with Sterling Ethos decks that I've had in the past. I think it was like the Modern Witch Tarot. I hated the box. I hated the cardstock. I hated it. I liked the little guidebook because it was like a little hardcover guidebook, but I hated everything else about it. I love the artwork, but if I can't shuffle comfortably, it's a problem. So I kind of steered away from Sterling Ethos, but I think they did a great job with this one. Ah, even just holding it makes me happy. Even just holding it. Look at the death card. Look at the death card. And I even love the devil. I'll see if I can find it. Here's 7 of Pence. I'll see if I can find the devil. Even it is just, let me see if I can find that. It just, surrealism, whimsical, avant-garde. Let me see if I can find it. I don't know if I'm going to be here. Here's the Hierophant. Judgment. I'm hoping I can find it right away. Of course, when you're looking for a deck, you're not going to be able to find it. Of course. Here's the Hermit. So good. So damn good. There's 9 of Swords. This is what reminds me of Salvador Dali. You see the little fingers sticking up out of the water? This is the 8 of Cups. Okay. Tower. Oh my goodness. You know what? I love cactuses and succulents. And so, of course, I love this card. No, where are you, devil? Where are you? All because I want to find you. You're hiding. Of course. Another Salvador Dali energy with this right there. Ah, here's the devil. The shadow. Shadow is bigger than you, mere man. It's not your usual depiction, but I think the reason why many of us collect tarot decks is because all these different ways to interpret the meanings can be demonstrated through the artwork. And so I appreciate this devil. It's a quiet devil energy, but still impactful. So all that to say, I really like this deck. I mean, I just do. And I'll probably be using it quite a bit in March. Let's see. Cool little guidebook. So that is the Infinite Door. I love it dearly. I'm happy I added it to the collection. It was on my wish list. I saw when it first came out and I was going to get it right away, but I was like, no, let me see how people are getting along with it. Some people really bond with it and love it, and some people are like, yeah, not for me. That happens. But it's for me. Yeah, let me see what you're saying. I always think I want this deck. Then I see the Empress with the mushroom for a head, and I'm like, I'm out. Yeah, see, and that's the thing also with the Curious Travels Tarot deck and the Infinite Door. They take humans and twist them around into some kind of different kind of creature. And that's not for everybody. It's also the same how I feel about when there's human bodies with animal heads. Kind of freaks me out. I wish I felt differently about it, but it's what it is. I'm not a fan of like seeing a cat head on a human body. So I get it. I love the Infinite Door's rebellious spirit energy. There's something, I'm gonna be who I want to be. I don't care what you think of me. That's why I'm here for it. Oddball attitude, and I love it. Absolutely. Cool, salty sass is how I'd summarize. Oh, cool. See, Adam be coming with the descriptors. Cool, salty sass is how I'd summarize the Infinite Door Tarot. And totally genius devil. It is, isn't it? I think you and I have had a conversation about how much we love the devil in this deck. Subtle, shadowy, self-reflective. Right. That shadow bigger. And then it tells you in a way like it's kind of an illusion. But we have to overcome that shadow. And how do we go about doing that? And then they've got the stairs. It's genius. Genius, genius. It's a Marmite deck. Love it or hate it. Yeah, I love it. Me too. I love it. Donna says, yes, animal-headed humans. I don't know why it bothers my soul. And I probably could totally work with a deck that has like human bodies with animal heads, but I don't want to. It's an exception for ancient Egyptian or any other pantheon. Okay. And Loves Tarot says, I bought a deck with humans and animal heads and I can't connect. And you know what's funny is that, oh gosh, Chris Ann Donnelly created the Curious Creatures Tarot, and I have mostly all of her decks, indie and mass market, because I'm a fan of her work. And it's the one deck I didn't get because she has people with animal heads. It's the one deck. And I'm like, could you get over that, Kim, to complete your collection, your Chris Ann Donnelly collection? I don't know if I can. I don't know. But I still love her, and I still love my decks that I have from her. Like, Light Seers Tarot, the Muse Tarot, the Oracle deck she's created, the Sacred Creators Oracle. Still love it, But yeah, that's the one. Finally, let's talk about the last tarot deck. It is the Tazama African Tarot. It's kind of worn here. And I was using this one a lot in conjunction with this one. Okay, with the African Goddess Rising. Dropped the box. And there's this cool guidebook. Let's see. I will include the flip through as well of this deck. It's beautiful. I've been using it a lot lately, and I'm noticing a little bit of wear on the matte gold gilding. But you know what? Decks are meant to be used, so here we are. I'm using it. And there's the backs. And let's talk about it. We have here Six of Pentacles. And people are like, you really use all these? Oh, I do. On average, I touch or use about anywhere from 28 to 32 decks a month in my collection. usually the same ones. But every now and then I go to the collection and pull something new. And I track every single deck that I touch or use each month on the spreadsheet. That I do. I love the surprise color change in the skies. Like for example, the wand suit. So and the pentacles that we've shown just here, that bright, deep orange. I love that for the earth element, and a surprise twist to the wands. Normally you expect like a warm or a yellow or a warm orange, like a yellow orange. You get this beautiful like jade, or yeah, like a jade green, turquoise even. I love it. It's unexpected. Now what is true is the cups with this blue. And I'll show you the swords. Here's the Four of Swords. That's an unexpected change. Normally you see like a slate gray or like a, a steely gray for the background. And you get this surprise color shift. And that I appreciate. And maybe I might end up using this deck when I talk or lead the reading lab at the end of the month, the last Saturday of the month, and use this deck and say, look at the color shift that we've got going on. Here's the Chariot. This reads so well. I used it a lot in client readings and just all over the place. I babied it a while because I spent good money on it. But now I realize it's like this deck is meant to be used. Here's the Devil. Can you see that? Here's the World. Love, Justice. Here's the Fool. And paired with the deck that the African Goddess Oracle is beautiful. If you go to my Instagram and you scroll back a little bit for February, I have a couple of pics with the card pairings, and they're so pretty together. There's Eight of Wands. And there's Eight of Swords. Yeah, really, really a special deck. I've had it for a little while now, a number of years. And every time, you connect with the deck you haven't within a while, you'd be like, why don't I pick this one up more? And this is one of those decks. So what I did is I compelled myself to use it. I put it in my little shelf of working decks for the month of February and consulted with it as much as I wanted to and could. And I think I've reconnected with it. I formed a beautiful little bond. So remember how we said we're going to look at the EP question that Adam posed. And that was my last deck I wanted to talk to you all about. Let me see. Before I get to our question, I saved the question. Let's see what you all said. Donna says, I love both Life Seers and Muse, but no way will I get the Curious Creatures. And that's okay. And it is okay. It really is okay. There's everybody, there's a deck for everybody. That's the beautiful time that we're in. There's a deck for everybody. It's just, that ain't my jam. Rebel Heart Tarot, yes. A lot of animal heads, human bodies, but it's a bit more mixed with other imagery, kind of retro collagey 80s vibe to it. And it was in my shopping, not my shopping cart on Amazon. I have like a little wish list as well over there for Tarot and Oracle. And I think it is there if I recall correctly. So I am familiar with the Rebel Heart. And I thought, well, maybe I could try it with that deck first. We'll see. This is a beautiful deck. It really is. And Adam says, I bought this deck way back after seeing your walkthrough of it. Always loved it. It's so beautiful, so classy. It really, doesn't it really pop? And People don't realize like the colors in tarot, even in oracle, but especially in tarot, can inform you in your reading interpretations, in the card meanings. So I love the twist of the ways in which the colors are used. And I wonder, and I meant to reach out to the creator. So the deck creator and I had an email exchange. Maybe they mentioned it. I gotta look. Maybe the creator mentioned it. But the creator was thankful that I did a deck flip through. And I think I mentioned something about how I appreciated the color change or how you change that up. So I'm going to look back, because if not, I'm going to reach out to the creator and say, was that intentional, or did you just really love the colors and like the way they pop? Or was it just more aesthetic, or was there meaning behind that decision to change it up, like with the wands, and not using a warm orange or something like that? Yes, so traditional, but not at the same time. Very clever deck. It is super clever and traditional. So if you are someone who still likes more of a traditional deck, it works. Now, before we roll on up out of here, and I thank you all for being here. And if you enjoyed your time here, do me a favor and like the video or hype it. I'm not quite sure about what this hype business is about, but if you see a hype option and you like the video, hype it or like it. So thank you. And leave a comment. I'm most entertained by your comments. If you don't know, I love to engage with you in the comments section, even on the live replays. I love it. I love engaging with you. That's one of the reasons why I created a channel way back in 2017. I was like, I just want to be with like-minded souls and let's talk about things we want to talk about. And so I never tire of chit-chatting with you all in the comments section. So the first card we got to this question that Adam posed, could you pull an oracle or tarot card on the energies and outcome of the e-files? If you don't mind rabbit hole diving. So we pulled, or we shuffled and got this card, Oshun, Fearless Love. So we're going to see what Spirit wants to reveal to us about these whole e-file things and to see if we can get an outcome. So we'll pull up the tarot and see what comes up. And we'll look at the guidebook. Nine of Pentacles. Now look at this. I'll show you how well they play together. Isn't that pretty? It's a pretty combo. Nevertheless, serious question. Nine of Pentacles, outcome. It is a Nine of Pentacles is a favorable outcome, but it is a long journey to get there. The Pentacles is the slowest moving energy in the tarot. We're talking years in the making. If you wanted to even take literal time frame, it could be 9 years of unfoldment, either 9 years from today or 9 years from when this thing really started getting underway, which is like, it's been a while. It's like, this is going to slowly grind to justice, but ultimately we will receive some form of retribution, and karmic retribution at that. It's a good sign to get the Nine of Pentacles. You all have to let me know what you think. To our question, like, what is the outcome? The outcome is something being revealed, something coming to light, a wish fulfilled in the sense of we want people to pay. Who's going to pay? There's already starting to be different things happening, all right? We have a whole prince in England who is dealing with some consequences. So what else is there's going to be more fallout. Now, I wanted to take a quick look at the guidebook for Oshun. Where are you? Card 25. Goddess of Fearless Love, representing Yoruba, Nigeria. Temple is lovers, element is water. Okay. Goddess Oshun is the exalted Orisha deity of honey, sweet waters, love, sensuality, fertility, and beauty. But the Yoruba lady of gold's anger and jealousy can also flood and destroy. Okay. Oshun's guidance. Dare to love. Begin with loving yourself. Allow yourself to be loved. You feel everything deeply. You are porous with a wall around your heart. This is your paradox. The thing is, when you see a lot of people shouting out, what about the e-files? You see them all over social media now. And that was a catchphrase. What about this? What about that? That's really a showing of love for our fellow human beings who have been victimized, who have been quieted, who have had to sign NDAs, who have had to shut up about what the atrocities that they've gone through. And now you're seeing a showing of we will not be silenced because why? We love our fellow man. We love our fellow woman. We love them enough to say no more. We want everything to come to light. What does it say? The Yoruba lady of gold's anger. Anger. I love it. Embodiment message. I just feel like sharing this. It doesn't necessarily have to do with the e-files, although I could see for the victims as maybe a message for them or anyone who's ever been victimized. It says, you are love and you are worth loving. Your divine assignment is to remain open to fearless love. You deserve to be loved in your language. You are worthy of a love that remembers your beauty at your ugliest moments. Don't allow your unhealed past to block your future. Real love is a sacred contract that says, I am vulnerable and committed. Your heart is safe with me. Let's expand our consciousness together. Goddess declaration, I give love, I receive love, I am love. And when I see those victims standing up in those congressional hearings or on the news and sharing what normally would be something that causes them to shrink, I send this message to them that they would, I don't know if they ever would feel, but I send this just intention of, I wrap you with loving support because that is not easy what you are doing. And here you are doing it. And it resonates with people. We don't want that for the next person. And so we are a rallying cry collectively that we want the truth exposed. And this is a highly favorable card to get. The Nine of Pentacles. It's going to take some time though. And we have to be persistent and diligent and stick to it and not let up. But we have to understand what is motivating us. It's love. It's love. Are you talking about the African or the Tazama? That's one that's on your wish list? Didn't the e-files start around 2019, which is kind of 8 years already? Yes. So sometimes with timing, if you play around with timing in tarot, it's not necessarily 9 years out from today. It could be, hopefully not, but it could be also a cumulative thing where it in totality. So when, for example, I do a love reading for someone and we get timing and they're like, and we get something that says like, it'll say, let's say 3 of Pentacles, right? And it's like 3 years. And the client's like, not 3 more years. But then I'll say, well, when did you two start dating? And they're like, oh, it was like 1.5 years, 2 years ago. I'm like, okay, well, it could be another year of trying to work this out, trying to get on the same page, trying to come together as a team together. And that gives them a like, okay. But I also say it also could mean 3 years from today. It could be either or. I don't know. So yeah, that would be, I mean, the scale is tipping, friend. 9 of Pentacles. Nine of Pence could also be that the files are part of humanity's sovereignty. Great awakening. So I did a reading about the Iran conflict. I guess people are getting flack for using the W word, but or shadow band, I should say. So in one of the cards, the oracle cards was the Great Awakening, and we also got Antichrist. And Great Awakening is us collectively awakening to what needs to be seen and advocating for those who need to be advocated for. And so I love that. It says Nine of Pence could also be that the files are part of humanity's sovereignty, independence, breaking away from the elite system's claws. Yes. It's breaking the false paradigm. Absolutely. Absolutely. We need to send fearless love to the survivors. Yes, we do. We need to let them know we stand in solidarity with them, and we will raise our voices alongside theirs to say, we will not take this anymore. This is not who we are as humanity in this year of 2026. We will not be silenced. They are so brave. I can't even imagine. I get emotional. You know, I'm kind of like Aquarius. I'm always get emotional, but I get emotional thinking about it. And then people try to minimize what they've gone through, try to say that they were complicit. What? Great positive messages. It's showing the files as purging. Yes. Coming to light. Look at that. Nine of Pence is achieved after much hard work. So we need to be relentless until justice is done. Exactly. We cannot let up. We cannot let up. Yes. Both are goodies to add to your wish list. The Tazima African Tarot and the African Goddess Oracle. Chef's kiss together. Yes, it is amazing. Ooh, now this is news. Donna, I did not know that there was a full-size book I can get. We'll be doing that after we get offline. I'm all here for it because even the little guidebook is just so good. Oh, thank you. I got all emotional too, like spirit, but it was a great question, Adam. I'm glad you posed it for us. We need the upliftment too. We every day in the news cycle, there's so much going on that's saying what's wrong and what is just not going right. And so what is going right is we are collectively raising our voices out of fearless love for the victims. And the victims for sure is doing this out of fearless love. And it just, we can't let up. So yeah, friends, thank you for joining me today. This was great. I had a fabulous February. I hope you all did too. I hope you have an amazing March, and we'll get together again, see how y'all are doing. Join me on Instagram on Sanctuary Sundays. It's usually, I'm Atlantic Standard Time, which on Sunday will be the same time zone as Eastern Daylight Time. So I usually get on there about anywhere from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., depending on when I wake up and make my coffee and whatnot. So join me. And if you can't catch the replay, it's fun. It's fun. So join me over there. And let's see. The book has practices you can do. Okay, so I'm going to definitely get the book. Thank you for mentioning it. I wouldn't have known. Sharing is caring. I wouldn't have known that the African Goddess Rising has a full-size book. Off to go get it. Adam says, thank you, Kim. An unexpected answer, I have to say. I didn't expect to give an answer from the victim's perspective. I didn't either. I really didn't. I didn't. But they're the reason. They are the reason why this is all coming to light. We have to see their sordid tales and all that's gone on in all those mass files. And then they are raising their voices. So, yeah, actually, I see why the reading went that direction. But going into it, I didn't expect that. Have a wonderful rest of your day, everybody. Beth, yes, I am. We're getting off now, and I missed you. I would have loved hanging out with you. I'm trying again to get back to doing our little monthly gatherings. We had a time today. We did. We even did a little collective reading on the e-files. We pulled a card or two. I'll leave you with this. We got Oshun, Fearless Love, and Nine of Pentacles. Yeah. All right, you all. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you all around. Bye for now.